we added our distance, and we don't like this large decimal showing here. And so I looked, I just did a quick Google search, didn't take very long at all, probably like 30 seconds. I found this option. There's different ways of rounding numbers, but I'm gonna go ahead and just, I copied this, and I'm gonna go ahead and edit the script on the game script. So let's double click that. And pretty much I'm going to add in, I'm going to round this distance number. So as this distance, it gets increased and it becomes a decimal point. And so I'm gonna use this math round to integer. The int stands for integer, so whole numbers. And then it takes the float, which is a distance, it's like a decimal, and it rounds it. It's a string. So if I save that and take a look now, the score up in the top right will be an integer. So there you go, 1, 2, 3. And we can add whatever distance we want to that, meaning we're gonna watch this. We'll say plus, this is how you can add some text right behind it. I'm gonna say feet, okay? So it's gonna say, 0 feet, 1 foot, 1 feet, 2 feet. Okay, so let's see. So here we go. Distance equals 0 feet, 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. And if you, if you wanted to look, more scientific, or you could say miles. I don't know if he's a giant and he's walking every step, he's taking a mile step. And if you want a space, you might just simply put a space there after the quotation marks, and then you'll see that the number will have a space after it before it says 0 feet, 1 feet, 2 feet. Okay, so you play around with that however you want. Now what we're gonna do now is add something that we can collect. Let me take a look in here at my assets, and I have some graphics here. So I'm gonna make a star. So I'm gonna go Control, create empty, and we're gonna call this star. Okay, and inside of this, we are going to, let's just set this at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And inside of here, I'm gonna right click on this, and I'm gonna add an empty game object, and I'm gonna call this sprite, and we're gonna add a component to it called sprite render. And you could just start typing sprite renderer and it'll pop up. Okay, great. And now I can drag this, and you'll notice that the position is set at 0, 0, 0. It's basically like an object inside of another. It's like, they call this the child, that's the parent. So there's a child inside of the parent object, and you can drag this graphic on there, and then you'll see the star is there. And so I'm gonna take the parent, and when I move the parent, the child goes with it. So let me double click this and roll out. And I'm gonna set this off to the right of the screen, and it's just gonna sit there. It's not gonna do anything. So if I push play, even though I'm walking, I'll never get to that star. But what's cool is we created a in a few tutorials ago, the code that moves the tree. Let's take a look at the tree. We have this movement script. What if we just put that on top of the star? So we can hit add component, and we could start typing in movement script. It's really neat. It has all in its memory the scripts, and we could just have it move across the screen. Okay. And what did we have the tree set at? Oh, we had the move speed at 10 for the tree, and so I could change that to 2 and make the star faster if we wanted to. And so the star goes faster than the tree. Okay, and then the star is going to go across the screen and reappear. But what if we check this box here, just destroy? Now we built that into our code before, so let's just say in theory you somehow missed collecting that star and it goes off the screen. It doesn't come back. You don't get another chance for that. Okay, so so we could have them up in the sky and you have to jump and get them, or they could be down low and you have to stay on the ground and get them. Okay, make it a game. Okay, now what we need to do is we're going to write a little bit of code to collect that thing. And so first off, we need to have a text box up there for the, so if I double click this text box, we wrote this last time. I'm going to keep the word text in there, and I'm going to go ahead and write distance. So that's our distance score. And we could create a new text box, or we can copy and paste this if we want. Let's just do a little review. So right click and say, let's add UI legacy text. Okay, I'm going to pick a color here. Okay, let's just go ahead and pick a yellowish color to match the star. And then, where is this? Let's double click it. It's right here in the center. You can barely see it. I am going to hold Option and set it up in the top left. I am going to double click it so I can get over there and see it. Let's double click it again. It'll zoom in better. Okay, I'm going to move this next to the star and make this font a lot bigger. Hit best fit. That's not too bad. Okay, there's only one font to choose from right now, but we'll get to that later. And best fit, we can make that much bigger if you like. It's totally up to you what size you want that to be. Like if you want to make it really big, go for it. Okay, and that's just gonna be there, and this is gonna be our star count. Okay, so we're gonna make it change every time we collect a star. So we get play, it's just gonna say star count, right? And we're just gonna write some simple code, just getting when its X and Y coordinate is close to the character, then you'll collect the star and we'll destroy the star. So let's write a script real quick. Okay, so let's right here on the star, let's add a new script, and we'll call this star script. Okay, hit enter, and there's my star script that just got created. And what am I going to do first? I'm going to drag it in here just to stay organized, and then I will go ahead and double click to open this. I could cheat, I suppose, and just find the character's X coordinate. He's right there in the 0. So I could say, if the star gets to 0, then let's add a point. So let's just try that real quick. So double click and say, so in the update, we're going to say, there's a couple things. We're going to have to get a hold of that script on the scripts. So let's do something here. We're going to say public game object, and then we're going to call this script object. And we are going to need to find this script game object and find the script that's attached to it. And we're just going to do that right away. And we're going to say game object. This is some stuff that's built into Unity, build object dot find, and we're going to say scripts. Oop, we need to put it in quote. That's the name of this object on here. Okay, that's important. Okay, well, we're going to deal with that later. So let me take a look. This is called scripts, and Unity, when this star comes into life, it's going to do this thing called start. It's like the first thing that it's going to do is this start function, and it's going to find something in the game called scripts, and we're going to refer to that in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to say if transform dot position dot x is, let's just say it might be at like the position on the x coordinate at 1, and then on depending on the speed, its very next frame it might be on like -2, so it might not ever be on the actual 0. So we're going to say if the transform position x is greater than, let's just say -1. Let's make it a wider range, and transform dot position dot x is less than 2, then what's going to happen? We're going to destroy this. We're going to destroy the game object that this is attached to. So, oops, you put lowercase game object. We'll get into that later. Up here it's uppercase and then it's lowercase here. Just know that. So we're going to make it disappear once it gets to this x coordinate. Okay, so let's just see if that works. Okay, where we're headed with this is making the score increase when the star gets collected. So there, boom, it got to that. It got to like +2 now. Let's just take a quick gander here. Quick look at where the star is when it gets next to the player. So let's just move it and just take a look at this area over here. So its x coordinate is at 8 right now. It's at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So 2 would be way over here. That's too far. We want it to be about right here when it gets collected. So I would say like 0.5, between 0.5 and -0.5, something like that. Okay, so let's put it back. Let's alter this script, and we'll say -0.5, and you have to put an F at the end for float. Okay, and 0.5 F. Okay, so now it'll disappear when it gets a little closer to the character. Okay, great. And now we want to make the star count go up. Okay, so in scripts, we have this game script here, okay? We're going to refer to that in a minute, but we need to put a new variable in here. We're going to say public int. This time we're going to go integers, and we're going to say stars collected. And we're going to start it at 0. And then in this update, we could make the stars text always read. So we could say, oh, we need to get the stars text first. So we're going to say public text stars text. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing what we did with the distance. And we're going to say stars text dot text equals the amount of stars collected. Stars collected. And then we're going to say dot to string. We have to write to string, and that will actually write it out for us. But one thing's first, we made this stars text public field, and we haven't dragged it into its slot yet. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So once we hit scripts, if I didn't create any errors, my type, this stars text, it says none. We have to grab the text. This should be called text stars. Let's just keep ourselves organized. And so we select the scripts. You see right here, there's a little slot to drag this into it. Okay, so now let's see what happens when we push play. Okay, we have 0 stars collected. Okay, we're going to change that in a moment. Okay, so on the star script, we are going to make a variable. Well, let's just do this. So we found the game object called scripts, right? And let's just take a look real quick here. I'm going to push play, and then I'm going to pause. It did not find the script object. It doesn't look. It should have populated this with the did I misspell something? Scripts. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on one sec. Scripts. Script object. Oh. That's. I have to write script object equals that. Okay, big missing element there. So now the script object equals that. So now we'll see when I hit pause for a second, I look at the star, it found the object named script. Okay, great. So now we can get to this file from inside the script, the star code. So the star script is now going to tell this script object to update its own code. Okay, and we're going to write that right here. We're going to say script object dot get component, And the name of the component on there is called game script. And look, it knows what it is. And you just have to write it this way. You put 2 parentheses and then a dot, and then we're going to say stars collected plus equals 1. So let's just take a look at what we did here. So the script object, it found what the script object is. It's this thing right here. Okay, and now we're going to tell it to get one of its components on it that is named GameScript. That's a script file we created. And then when you put this little dot right here, the 2 parentheses and the dot, you can actually get to the variables inside this GameScript. And so that's what we did here. And now we're going to increase that variable by 1, and then we're going to destroy ourselves. Okay, ourselves. The star is going to get destroyed. Okay, so let's just take a look. Let's hit play. And when it gets collected, you'll see that change to a 1. So let's just, for example, paste a couple of stars on stage. And each time it collects, it should get destroyed, and our score goes up. Okay? So in the next tutorial, what we're going to do is in our game script, we're going to modify it to like spawn stars one after the other, and so that we could, we could start turning this into a game. Okay, I know that was a lot. I think what I'll do is I'll post the code files onto a Google Drive for you guys to access and take a look at to help yourselves code all this. Okay, go ahead and have fun creating a collectible star. Have fun.